Thank you, Margaret and Jim. Margaret did that to me once. I was totally caught off guard. Great technique, though. I thought being from Big Sur, you'd run into all these people that were civil disobedience down there, and Joe Baez's and things like that, but I guess not. All right, now our next expert is going to tell us whether they've ever been part of a civil disobedience campaign, and if so, what was the civil disobedience campaign? And if you weren't part of a civil disobedience campaign, why not? Arnie Buss. I knew that was coming.
I knew one of these was coming my way. Well, thank you for that question. And before I talk about myself, I do wish to talk about Rosa Parks, because what she did was refuse to leave the white portion of the bus. However, there is an individual associated with the civil rights movement who was critically important in nonviolence being a key part of it. And of course, I'm talking about none other than Bayard Rustin, who you've probably never heard of. But Bayard Rustin was the man who taught Martin Luther King about what nonviolence was. Bayard Rustin had traveled to India and had studied with Mohandas Gandhi's group. Unfortunately, Gandhi had been assassinated just before he arrived. But 8 years before Rosa Parks, there was a federal ruling that banned discrimination on buses by segregation. And so in the 1940s, Bayard Rustin and some white colleagues would deliberately sit together in the wrong portion of the bus. In North Carolina, he was arrested, and he spent 22 days on a chain gang for riding in the wrong section of the bus. Now, Bayard Rustin, some of you may not know, was the man who organized the 1963 March on Washington. We associate that with Dr. King because of his I Have a Dream speech. But the key person who organized that march was Bayard Rustin, who was kept very low-key because of some of his political beliefs and because of his sexual orientation. Now, how does this relate to me? As a 13-year-old, I was at that March on Washington, and I heard the speeches, including Bayard Rustin's and Dr. King's, firsthand. So that was not exactly civil disobedience, but it was a key moment, and I think had a great transformative effect on the legislation that was pending. Mr. Table Topics Master.